Halloween. Nope. Halloween. No, still wrong one. Yes, this is right. Halloween. Yes, you have heard that correctly. This is the third Halloween movie in the same franchise with the same name. If you are not familiar with the timeline of the Halloween franchise, here it is, in all of its glory. Just look at this mess. So you got the first two Halloweens, then 4, then 5, and then 6. Well, if you're wondering where Halloween 3 is, that's all the way down here. And then the second timeline ignores 4, 5, and 6, and then makes the separate timeline, which is called the 20-year timeline. And then you got the Rob Zombie remake and its sequel. And then finally the 40-year timeline, which ignores all of their movies except the original. Halloween 2018 is the first of the 3 BLUMHOUSE Halloween movies, and yes, I have not seen this movie since 2018 when it came out in theaters, so I decided to sit down and rewatch and have a little retrospective, as you call on this series, on this trilogy, whatever the hell you want to call it. I really enjoyed this movie. For what it is, I like this movie. I know it's a Halloween sequel. I know it's probably going to be the same thing, and that's fine. That is fine to me. This is the, 11th movie in this franchise. I don't need it to be shaken up 11 movies in. If you're going to do that, I love Halloween 3 for just being different. I know it's not a very good movie, but I like how they did something different. But my views have changed, and Halloween Ends is what made me want to do this video. Halloween Ends released on Peacock on the 14th, like a couple weeks ago, and sitting there watching it for the first time with my beautiful girlfriend, it made me think about how this franchise has just shit the bed. And yes, that is not a very hot take. I only think the first 2 movies in this series are any good and worth watching. But I do enjoy watching the Halloween sequels. They just have a special place in my heart of how dumb they get and how just absolutely ridiculous. Like this scene.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Great old times with Busta Rhymes. But my main problems with this movie are little weird line readings.
Glad you got to see that. I never told you how I spent my childhood.
Come out again. We do this all the time.
Well, you don't enjoy it? I like being out in the woods.
No, I enjoy it, but I'm missing dance class for this, and sometimes I'd rather.
So that kid sounded like he smoked a pack a day. But my biggest problem with this movie is the ending. The last 20 minutes is just basically the final boss battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. My first problem with this encounter is that in the beginning, where Michael is sticking his hand through the glass, and Laurie somehow gets the shotgun over his hand and shoots his hand off, or his fingers off, sorry. She would be deaf. I'm not an expert in shotguns, but I do believe that shooting a shotgun that close to your head will probably damage your ears.
Ow, my freaking ears!
So then, Karen tricks Michael, and then shooting him, and then shoving him into the basement.
I can't do it! I'm sorry, I can't do it!
Gotcha, bitch!
So after shooting Michael and locking him in the basement, Laurie then draws a flare, throws it into the basement, and sets Michael ablaze.
Oh no! Anyway.
Drive off into the sunset, ending the franchise. Oh shit! This movie made $250 million at the box office? Well, boys, let's make some sequels. And sequels they made. Halloween Kills, released on October 15th, 2021, did not do as good as the original Halloween. Excuse me, Halloween 2018 as only doing $131 million in the box office. This movie is a complete mess. The script is bad. It flabbergasts me on how. I mean, I know why the movie was made, to make money, and it made a shit ton of money, as its budget was only $20 million. But there's so many problems I have with this movie that it's like, why make it? It seems like a jumbled mess, and I'm gonna rip this piece apart. So, I'm going to break down this 1978 flashback, whatever this is. This officer guy, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, looks down at these footprints, notices that Michael is there, and then Michael attacks him.
Hey, old man, give me everything.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me! Hey!
Okay, so right now, Frank comes in, Michael is holding the other officer with a rope, and he's strangling him. Instead of doing anything else, like moving, usually in a hostage situation, you know, the dude who has the hostage has a weapon that instantly can kill someone. That's the point of hostage situations. That's why, you know, you can't really move and, you know, get a better shot. That's why you have a human shield. In this case, Michael has a rope, and I decided to draw this up in paint. So, this is Michael, okay? Michael is standing right here. He has the other officer right in front of him with the rope, and then here's Frank. So, Frank has a gun pointed to Michael, and instead of shooting Michael, he shoots his friend right here, right in the neck, and Michael has a rope, so Michael's standing right here, he has the rope strangling him, so that's what happened. But Frank could have just walked around the corner right there, and just shot Michael. So, instead of that happening, he kills his friend. The second big problem I have with this movie is the title. Instead of being called Halloween Kills, which, give it credit, it does have some great kills, the best kills I've seen in a Halloween movie, it should have been called Halloween Evil Dies Tonight.
Dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight!
Evil dies tonight!
Evil dies tonight!
All right, everybody.
This is Mr. Duvally, and this is Michael Myers. This movie convinces me that the people of Haddonfield think that these two people are the same person. Let me give some context. So, in the first Halloween, this movie also takes place on the same night, if I haven't mentioned that, if you don't know. So, Mr. Duvally and Michael Myers both escape from the bus crash scene in the first movie.
It's right next door to our house.
Two patients of the local Smiths Grove State Hospital unaccounted for after yesterday's transport bus escape.
So, in turn, Mr. Duvally goes to the hospital to get some help. Now, let's take 2.5 nanoseconds to think about this. Why the fuck would Michael Myers go to the hospital to get help without his mask? What sense does that make, people? What are we doing? So, Tommy and all of the other people at the hospital chase Mr. Duvally into this little... Well, first off, sorry, this is a little rant. First off, Karen realizes that it's not Michael Myers because she has a brain. So she locks Mr. Duvally in this, like, little hallway thing. And instead of staying in the locked doors section, she decides to leave to go outside. But there's two entrances, so... The one entrance, she can't even tell the people that it's not him, which I don't know how they don't know. The people in front should have been like, that's not Michael Myers. He's not a 7-foot tall maniac. He's 5'2" Mr. Duvally. So after all the bullshit at the hospital, they find out that Michael Myers just wants to go to his house. That's why he kills people, just because they're in his way to go home. But then Karen secretly with Tommy Doyle makes a little like trap thing. So Karen leads Michael to the trap after stealing his mask, and then they beat him up.
Oh no! Anyway.
So then Karen goes upstairs in the Myers house to look out to the window, and we've already established that's the whole reason Michael wants to kill people. So why do that? How did Michael teleport here? I guess he is a supernatural being now. Who cares?
Hello there.
Ugh.